I'm Angie, and this is Reimagine to Redesign. Thanks again for joining me today. I'm going to do 3 Christmas table settings. One will be chinoiserie. One will be that you've already seen. I'm going to do it first, but I'm going to show you how to assemble something very similar to it while you watch me put it together. And then the other one is a very casual farmhouse fun that could be on your breakfast nook table or something. So we're going to do those today, and we'll just see how much time that takes. I'll just go as fast as my little body and my little hands can go. I just appreciate so much you joining me. I've had some new subscribers. Remember, subscribing is free, and it's just so encouraging to me. I've gotten so many great comments, and I really, really appreciate that. So if you'll give me a thumbs up and comment and subscribe. I'm also on Pinterest at Reimagine to Redesign. And I'm not real good about posting on Instagram, but I'm going to try to get better about that because I see so many pretty things, and I really want to join the bandwagon on that one. I'm glad that you're joining YouTube and subscribing because it is, while we're all trying to figure out AI, artificial intelligence, YouTube is authentic intelligence from authentic experience. And there are so many great subjects that you can fix your car, you can fix your washing machine, you can fix your toilet, you can make dinner, appetizers, just anything. You can find it on YouTube. And so I hope you'll join, not just because you're my friend, but because you can find other good information on this platform. Okay, let's get started. First of all, I showed you this before, and I think I had this in one of those sucked up bags. You know, I do that with a lot of my stuff because, as you know, I have very limited space. Well, I cannot get the wrinkles out of this thing. Well, it's not wrinkles, it's fold marks. I've washed it. You might say, well, Angie, did you try ironing it? And I'd have to say, nope, didn't try that. So I guess I should try that, or steaming it. But anyway, as I'm rushing through all this, I thought, okay, they can just ignore the wrinkles. So pretend that those fold marks and wrinkles aren't there. Okay, so this is a white tablecloth under this, and the reason I put a white tablecloth under it is because it's got this little sheer panel. It looks real pretty. This came from Mervyn's 100 years ago. No, not 100, but a long time. And this is an old table, so I also have a table pad under the white tablecloth. It is sealed, but this was my grandmother's table, and I just try to be extra careful with it. Okay, on top of that, I'm going to add a table runner. Now, you can buy, I saw these the other day at Home Goods, and this was my mom's. And so I love mixing metals. You know, when I was younger, my mom, well, and all of us used to think you could only do gold, or you could only do silver, or you could only do, you know, and now it's just like, just how sparkly can you make stuff? And so that's what we're going to do, is we're going to see how sparkly we can make stuff. This is one of those, you've seen me hang these on the wall because they're snowflakes. These are actually placemats. So anyway, I'm going to put one right here. You'll also see that I didn't hang this off the edge. I wanted the white edge to show on each end. You could very easily just pull that flat and straight. I had a luncheon one time when I first started scrunching things up like this, and it was probably 20 years ago when I first started doing this. And they said, Angie, only you would think of wrinkling something up. Our mothers would walk in and say, what are you doing? Straighten that thing out. So anyway, now wrinkling things up is the thing. This is a great big tray that it's got some scratches on it. So I got it on a discount at Home Goods. So I'm going to start right there, and then I'm going to show you how I did this. These are 3 trees, and I'm going to turn them on so you can see how pretty they are lit up. I got these at Cracker Barrel, and I'm looking around right now because I'm trying to remember exactly what I wanted to do with this. Okay, and so they don't have them anymore, but I have seen something now this came in a set of 3, but I've seen something very similar to it on Amazon. I don't know whether it came in a set of 3, but I believe there were varying sizes. And these kind of change colors. I just think they're really pretty. And it's kind of an icy look I have going in here anyway. Okay, so I'm going to add just a little bit of greenery. And I'm going to put the greenery on the bottom and just kind of try to stuff it in there between these because I'm going to add several things here. So I like to kind of have a little bit of greenery through each of the 3 angles of it. I'm going to bend that one up just a little bit more so it's not coming around that tree. I could have sworn I had a candle ring on this, but I guess I didn't. Okay. And so then those are just, you can get I think I ordered a box of these from Amazon, but these are the real fill. I think that's cedar, but you can also get those as picks at Hobby Lobby. These were also picks from Hobby Lobby. You can see they're real frosty and glittery, and they've all got the 3 pine cones on them. So I'm going to put that right there. And I think I'm going to put that kind of sticking up right there, like that. I think I'll bring up just a little bit of, well, you know what? I have something sitting over there, and I thought, why do I have that in there? And now I know why. Okay, and then this is one great big flower. This one I got at home. And when I was taking this apart, I found this one little bitty branch with one little bitty. That's actually a hemlock cone on that. Those little tiny cones are hemlock from a hemlock tree. I must have had it stuck right there just to break up all that white. Aren't I clever? Okay, so that's that on that tray. And then I just add my crystal deer, or they're actually acrylic deer, right here on the outside edge. I've got my handles where I can't put him there. There we go. And so, as you'll see, when I get ready to have company, I pick these up and I pick up that tray and I move them to the utility room or the island or just wherever you've got a spot to put them for your entertaining. So it can stay like this all the time. Now, I'm going to show you, I think I got that a little too far over, but we're going to improvise. I got these plates and I used these last year. So you've seen these before. These are from Home Goods. And I can't say I've seen them this year. Last time I went to Home Goods, our stock was down really low. Anyway, and then these, they have these at Hobby Lobby now, but I got these at Mardell's. So I'm going to use 4 of these around, and I kind of got this just a little too, I didn't get this table runner centered just real good, y'all. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, so we've got this right here. Now this time I'm not going to decorate the ends of the table. I think I've told you before, when we entertain and we just have 2 people, well, I just set these 4 places, and then we've got the end of the tables to put, whatever we need, salad or rolls or whatever. So, so anyway, I've got that vacant right now. See, now you can really tell I've got this way off center, but y'all don't tell anybody, nobody will know. Okay, so we've got those right there. Now, I will tell you this. There are times when I go ahead and set my plates and everything, especially when I use my grandmother's china. I keep that out for the whole season. But typically, I just put the plates and the napkins and the chargers and the big things, and I don't put the flatware out or the silverware out until right before I entertain. And also, I don't put glasses out usually because, we ask everybody what they want to drink as they come in, and we have hors d'oeuvres and appetizers, whatever. And then they usually take that same glass. Now, you can set a beautiful glass, and I have some real pretty glasses, but I just usually do it this way if I'm going to decorate the table and keep it that way through the whole season. Okay, now I've got these 4 napkin rings. I believe I got those at Home Goods. And this time I'm just going to just do that regular thing where you put your finger in the middle and pull it through and give it some folds. And then I'm just going to kind of lay it over to the side like this. Now I used gold flatware with this. As a matter of fact, we had some folks over for dinner last night, and I used the gold flatware with it, and that looks beautiful. But with these particular plates, or any time you want to mix your metals, you can do that. And you could use silver, or you could use, and let me tell you something. When I was younger, I did like my mom and my grandmas and my aunts, and we all just spent days doing all the fancy stuff and getting the good china out and all that kind of stuff. I don't feel about that like I used to. I spent a lot of time in my younger years doing that because that was how I was raised. And sometimes I think, I bet all my boys remember about me was my hiney sticking out of the oven cooking, or they just saw my backside all the time. And so now I don't feel quite the same way. I think you can get beautiful plastic plates and throw those suckers away and don't wash them. And I like a cloth napkin just because I like something really absorbent, because I'm really messy. But you can make really nice napkins now, and they're really pretty. And so, and then just use a cloth table, a table cloth, a real tablecloth, and just use as many disposable things as you can just to make it there. I used to watch somebody named Semi Homemade with Sandra Lee. And I loved the way she did things, because she would buy some stuff and make it all easier. And I just think that's a great idea. Whatever you can do to kind of cut corners and still make things beautiful, and you can. So that is this particular arrangement. You could change this out so many ways. You don't have to have the deer. You don't have to have the tree. You could put the deer on the tray. Or you could not have the trees at all, or you could rearrange that. Like I said, the reason I like to do it like this is because I can just pick up that tray and move it, and pick up those deer and move it, and I still have a beautiful table, and it wasn't pick up this thing and take all these things apart. Okay, now we're going to move on to the next table setting, and I'll tell you what it is, but I don't know yet. So we'll be right back. Our next table setting that we're going to do, I've put a red tablecloth on the table. And this is a square that I made years ago when I did a lot more aqua and turquoise in my tree. And so I put flannel plaid on one side, and then it's this on the other side. And I think this is just adorable. And I saved all those aqua and turquoise. And my husband and I loved those on the tree. It just looked so different and so pretty. It was on a green tree. So we'll probably do that again in the next year or two. But anyway, for today, I'm going to turn it like this. And I'm not going to wrinkle this one. I'm just going to put it right here like this with the little tips hanging off of the edge, and flatten that out. Now, this is what I'm going to do the chinoiserie on. So I'm going to start with my bowl. Actually, this is a bowl my friend gave me just last night. I kept teasing her because she had this sitting outside. And I kept teasing her, saying, I'm going to come over here and get that bowl, and you're not going to know that it's even gone because you haven't paid any attention. And so I went with some friends this last week to a place in East Texas in Emory. Is that where I was? Emory. It's called Twigs, and they had a bunch of really neat stuff. And it's a little bit smaller than this, but they had an oval, and I really wanted an oval because I think when you have rectangle, and when everything is very angular, I think it's nice to kind of take some of those squared off corners and do something soft And so anyway, I wanted an oval one. And then she surprised me with this last night. And I took her to my office, which is where I have the other one. And I said, I was gonna bring you in here and say, I took your bowl and you didn't even know it. And so that was kind of a funny thing. Anyway, I'm gonna set this right here. And contrary to all that styrofoam and moss and all that stuff we used to use, I'm just going to stick an old sack in here from Pop Shelf and some bubble paper. And it's going to kind of hop up there just a little bit, but that's fine. Actually, I'm doing this with all leftover stuff. This is not, because this isn't what I'm doing the trees and the reindeer on my table. Because I've got trees and all that white snowy stuff in the living room. So this is kind of something I'm just doing for you. But I really wanted to do this bowl, and so I'm excited to do it, but I'm kind of showing you a different way that I'm going to do things. So I've got some of these. I really don't know where I got these, and I don't know if they were in a bush or a pick. And then I've got this. This is a pick, and I'm pretty sure I got this at Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to just kind of lay this down under the corner of this just because I like that. Okay, I like that look it gives it. This is a pick from Hobby Lobby. I'm supposing they still have things like this. And you know me, it doesn't always have to be symmetrical for me. So I've got another different piece of greenery that I'm going to put on the other side. But this one, the way that everything's going to flow, I think you'll see that it makes sense. So I've got the side, the bottom of it bent down. I'm going to kind of put it leaning over this edge right here. And then I've got this little piece of greenery. I don't even have any idea. It is old, and it looks like it fell off of something. I keep big pieces like this, though, when I'm doing things like this. I'm going to put it on, whoops, I think I'll put it right here. This worked a minute ago when I was practicing. There we go. There we go. Okay. And then I've got some more of these that are the cedar real fill. I've just got 2 of those. So I'm going to put one in this way. Just kind of stuck it in here the long way like this. And I kind of did that. And then you can spread these apart, and I encourage you to do that. I mean, it makes them bigger and flatter. If you wanted to lay this under an oval bowl, you could. You know, it doesn't have to be a chinoiserie bowl. I just really love chinoiserie because I love blue and white. Let me get that down in there and that side down in there. Okay, and now I'm going to take these 3 picks and I'm going to put 2 over here, and you'll see why I'm doing that in a minute. And put that one there, and then put another one over here. So I'm kind of heavy on greenery and everything over there, but now you're going to see why. I'm going to take 2 big red poinsettias, and I'm going to put those on this side so that you can I'm going to move that one just a little bit. And you could put a couple more pine cones there if you wanted to, but I kind of like that look of doing it this way. That was just one of those things they taught us in flower arranging classes. Flower arrangements don't necessarily have to be symmetrical. A lot of times an asymmetrical flower arrangement really gives a lot of interest, especially when the bowl is not interesting. And of course, this bowl is interesting. Okay, I think with chinoiserie and plaid, Christmas plaid, you're getting kind of that Ralph Lauren look just a little bit. And so we need some nutcrackers. So I've got this one. Now, understand, I have got a huge nutcracker. He's probably about that big, and I have used him before. It was actually when I had a much bigger table. It was round, and so I used him before, but I'm just using those 2 smaller ones this time. I've also got a little, this came from Hobby Lobby years ago. It's been, I don't know what the original color was. I think it might have been black. Anyway, it's been several different colors since then. And I've got it white now. And actually, I'm using that in my bedroom now, but I wanted to show you how it's possible to do this look for your dining table. These are 2 little lamps. I got them at TJ Maxx last year, but they have these exact lamps at on Amazon, and they have 3 little settings, and they're rechargeable, and I just love them. So I've got those right here. Okay, all right. So now these are some chargers that I got on Amazon. Now, when I got them, I ordered these from Liz. I ordered on her through her page, Liz from Traditions by the Season. Yes. I love her. I love everything she does. She can put so much together, and you'll think, how is she ever going to be able to arrange that and it look good? And she does it every time. 2 twigs and a crown. She's real good about doing that too. Anyway, I got these, and I didn't exactly like the gold they were, so I just took a little gold spray paint and spray painted these. But like I said, these were from Amazon. And I ordered them through her page, which is what that's the goal for me, is to start doing those pages too. I haven't quite learned everything I need to learn for this. Okay, and these are 4 plates. I love these plates. They look like a flower. These were my mom's. So I'm going to put one here. And again, I'm doing that 4 place setting thing, which is really nice if you're just having a couple for dinner, or if you just want to keep your table looking festive for the entire season. Okay, and then I got, these are very glittery and very pretty, and I did get these at Home Goods. I definitely remember that. And I saw something similar to it this year. So I'm going to put those on the top right here. And then I've got 4 blue glasses, and I'm going to set, I told you I don't usually do this, and I don't, but I needed some more blue. And my husband took me out last week, and we did a little shopping in town, and I never could find any even plastic blue plates that I really liked. After I left Pop Shelf, I said, oh, they had blue plate chargers. I meant to get those. So that would look pretty here too. But the gold kind of ups the elegance factor. It's going to look a little more casual when you do the blue, and with a Ralph Lauren look or with a blue chinoiserie look, you want it to be a little more elegant. Okay, so I'm going to take my napkins. Oh, I forgot something. And my napkin rings. I did put some blue balls in this too, and that's something that makes a really good filler in a flower arrangement. And actually, I even use, when you go to Hobby Lobby, they'll have those, they're bigger than Christmas balls, but they're kind of orbs that are, pretty good size. I use those a lot in my decorating. I used to use even more, but I just kind of tucked these around in there, and that added a little bit more. You could even lay one right here if you wanted to, and that added a little bit more blue. And again, with my napkin, I just kind of did that thing where I pointed my finger and stuck. I think I would place this where you could see this is a really pretty napkin ring. I got this many years ago at Pier 1. But you can find things like this. A lot of places carry pretty napkin rings. Home Goods carries a lot of really pretty napkin rings. So all I did this time was I just put these in here like this. Now, just for grins and giggles, I'm going to show you something. A lot of times when I put a glass on the table like this, I want to do something a little different with my napkin. And I learned this years ago. You take this, and if I was folding it on a flat surface, can you see me if I go right here? Right here, you think you can see me? Okay, all right. Well, I can move this out of the way for a second. Okay. you take your napkin. This particular napkin has front side and a back side. See, this is just satiny on this side, and this is glittery on this side. So you want to, I mean, you can start it from either side, but you're going to turn in, oh, that's about 3/4 of an inch, because this isn't a huge napkin. Okay, and so you just keep doing a little accordion fold, holding it between your fingers all the way like this. Okay, then you spread your hand out, put your thumb in the middle, and fold it in half like this. And then you can actually stick it down in your glass, and it looks real pretty like that. Or, where's the rest of my napkin rings? There they are. Or you can put it in your napkin ring like that. And it's just something to add a little different something. Now, when it's a stiff napkin, you really get a sharp fold, and it looks really, really cool. But anyway, it's just a little different way to do something. And then I've done that before, and then just I just usually let that kind of be the center point in the well, it won't do right now. Anyway, you get the point. Okay, so for this time though, I just did this. But that other, I think, looks really pretty. I learned that years ago. I have a little book that's got all these different ways to fold napkins. I just love that little book. Okay, and so we've got one last thing here. Now, like I said, you could add so many different things to this if this is your theme. I'm doing this for you to kind of give you an idea. But you could add, you can go to Dollar Tree, Dollar General, and get those little bitty nutcrackers. Some of them have slits in the top of their hats so they can make them place card holders. But even if you don't want to use it for that, you can take some of those little soldiers and set them there instead of a glass. You could just do lots of different things. Blue plates on this would look really beautiful too. You could do something a little taller. You could elevate all of this. You could do a third nutcracker if you have one. And then of course you could always do, deck out each place setting. But I just do it this way just to kind of give you an idea. I just wanted to kind of show you, I love blue chinoiserie. So next year, you may see a whole new look of this. I may have some little blue plates by next year. But anyway, I just wanted you to see that. So that's that look. All right, we're going to do one more. Okay, friends, this is our last go round. This is going to be a little more casual, a little more farmhousey, maybe for the dinette area or your dining area. If you have a lot of real country looks, have a little tag hanging off there. Okay, this is red truck. I think that is one of the most clever things that Hallmark ever did. I have wanted a little red truck forever because of that. But anyway, there's this one I got at Big Lots several years ago, but you can find these anywhere now with the red truck on them. But that's what we're going to use. And you might want to use something a little bit different, but I'm going to show you why I want to use the red truck here in just a minute. Definitely, I want the red truck. You can take it out to the edges, but I definitely want it to stay where you can see the red truck. So I'm just going to kind of do those like that. Now I'm going to lay down, this is just a piece off of a white flocked garland that I got at Walmart, and their stuff, Walmart just keeps upping their game and upping their game and upping their game. So anyway, this is just, I cut that up in several pieces and used it a lot of places throughout the house. So I'm going to lay that right here. I'm going to take two real feel branches that I got at from Amazon. I don't really know if you can still get these. I could look, but I don't know. But they are the Real Touch. They're really tall. You can put them in tall vases if you wanted to. But for this situation, I'm going to kind of lay them in here so that we've got the green along with the white. You know how I like to mix the green in with the white. I don't think you have to go all white or all green. I think just kind of mix things in a little bit and it's all going to work out real good. So I'm just going to kind of put both of these, just kind of twining those in and bringing those snow branches, those flocked branches up just a little bit. Okay, and now you're going to see why I wanted to do the red truck thing. This is a red truck I got from At Home, and I've had it for several years now. You can get these little red trucks, white trucks. You can get them in all colors now, I think. But I do know that they have trucks at Hobby Lobby. They're a little bit bigger than this, and then there are some that are a lot smaller than this. But you can kind of scale things to however you need to for your table. Okay, so I'm going to set this, lay that down just a little bit, put it kind of at an angle because, you know, I don't like anything to be exactly right. It needs to be a little off for me. I'm going to take, this is just a bottle brush tree. It has lights in it. I don't know if it has batteries in it. No, it doesn't have any batteries in it. Okay, I'm going to put it, I'm going to lay it back there. This came from Hobby Lobby, I believe. And it's just a little, it's got beans in the bottom of it, a little thing that says Merry Christmas. You can make one of these very easy. Or if you don't have a place that you could buy one of these and you don't want to make one, that here's a little trumpet on the back and a little gift. You could always take little tiny jewelry boxes and wrap those up and load up a truck like that with a tree. This one, you need to kind of get a tree that's to the scale of the truck for this particular thing. But this one's real cute. It has a tree in it, and I've got someplace else I use it in the house, but for this, I wanted to use it right here. And I have a little basket. This is a little basket that I got a soap and and I got this at HomeSense because we have one in East Texas now. But a soap and a lotion came in this. So anyway, I use this and I'm going to set it down here in the back of this little pickup. And I'm going to set that on it. So now we've got those two trees and a big bag of goodies. So you could do just about anything with that if you wanted to. And here's me a little Coco to ride in the back of my truck. Okay, so there she is. All right. Then I have got these candlesticks. Now, if you remember what I told you, what I do, this has coasters on the bottom of it and a coaster on the top of it. This was one piece that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I cut it in half and added these little coasters to it. So instead of buying three, I don't know. It was probably more expensive to do it the way I did it. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to put these over here and this one over here just to give a little interest to it. And then these are candles that I got at Walmart last year. I don't think they have these this year. This is a real smooth looking candle. You might be able to find these on Amazon. I haven't really looked. They do have candles this size and with this little flame like this. They have some like this. They're that peeling birch. And so they're pretty. That's just not what I wanted. And I had these. If I was doing this, if this was my look I was going for all the time, I probably would invest in some of those. But I just kind of wanted to give a little demonstration of a different kind of look there. Okay, so that's the decoration for the center of the table. So you've got your green and your white and your green trees and your little, and like I said, you could put anything in the back of that. You could make that a flower arrangement instead of having trees and baskets back there. Okay, so now I'm going to take my, they look like galvanized tin. And so that's what I'm going to use for my plate chargers. So you can just set that on top of whatever is there. And then I ordered, and it's been several years ago, off of the internet. I don't even know if Amazon was as huge a thing when I ordered these as it is now. But I got, so these are melamine plates, and this has a little truck and a dog on it. This is a set of 8, and so there's 2 of each thing. So I put, no, I need my solid white plate first. Okay, first put down this solid white plate. And you want to be sure that if you keep your place settings out all through Christmas, before you have company, be sure you rinse those plates off or give them a quick wash, okay? All right, so this is the plate and the little dog, the truck and the little dog. So I'm going to put one here. Like I said, they're all different. There's 2 of each kind. So I'm just going to go diagonally here with the trucks. Now, there's a little trailer with a dog sitting outside of it. There's a VW bus. I hope you can see these. That's so cute, with the trailer outside of, with a dog outside of it. And then there's a VW bug with a little dog outside of it. These are all, no, I was going to say they're all golden retrievers, but they're not. So anyway, I'm going to use the little VW bug to go diagonal again on those. Okay, and so for the napkin, I'm going to go ahead and do that accordion thing, and I'm going to put that across the top with that little napkin like that. And I'm going to show you one more time how to do this. Here's another one to go. We'll put this one over here since we're going on the diagonal right now. Okay, so you don't have to lay this flat. I've done this so many years that I don't have to do it that way. But you just accordion the whole thing like this. Stick your finger in the middle, go in half like this, and then just stick it through your napkin ring. And these stiff napkins like this, now sometimes you kind of come out uneven, so you kind of have to pull on your sides there just a little bit. But I thought that little plaid looked really cute. See, it comes apart in the middle, but you can make that little fan all the way out like that. I just kind of keep it tight like this because I want everybody to see the little truck on the plate. Okay, let me do it one more time. Well, I can't do it higher. Okay. All right. Is this high enough? Okay. So I can't see what I'm doing over the girls. But okay, so here we go. We're going to fold it in half. Do this. Where is my napkin ring? Here it is. Okay, so just stick that through there. And there you go. I'm going to put it over here like this. Now, with this particular arrangement, they've got, if you go to At Home, a lot of times Home Goods, sometimes Pop Shelf or Dollar Tree will have different colored flatware that you can use. And it's just like I said, these days, at my age, but I think for everybody, do some parts that make this simple and where you still have the energy to have fun. I have made Thanksgiving dinners before where when it's all done, I sit in the recliner and fall asleep and everybody leaves and I never even say goodbye. So I'm for making things a little simpler where that's not the situation. I do see a couple of things here that I was going to add in. I'm all for, here's the thing. Especially at Christmas, too much is almost enough. And I'm sure that Liz from Traditions by the Season would definitely agree with me. So I add a little bit more. I'm going to stick just these little branches of snowy things here and add that, just so we got just a little bit more in there. Uh-oh, Coco wants in the house. And then put some over here. So this is just kind of a casual. Definitely could do this in the round very easily. You don't have to have plate chargers. You don't have to have any of this stuff. Just put some decorations in the middle of the table. Pick a cute napkin. These chargers, now probably this particular one was a little more. I think I got it at Hobby Lobby, but it didn't have a price on the back of it. I just always wanted, at one time I was doing a lot more farmhouse looking things, and so I wanted some galvanized plate chargers. But I think this is real cute and real welcoming and warm and fun, and so I hope you like it too. That is 3 table arrangements. The one snowy one with the frosted trees and everything, and then the chinoiserie, and now a little more casual with the red truck. There are so many wonderful content creators that are already decorating. There's Debbie on Your Home, Your Happy Place. I already told you about Liz. There is Becca on Adventures in Decorating, and she has all white furniture, and I want all white furniture so bad. And my husband says that would not go with Coco because Coco is brown and she brings brown with her. And so, but her decorations are beautiful, and her cats seem to go with it just fine. There's also Brittany Blaine. She does a great job on her channel. You all know I love Rebecca Robeson, 2 Twigs and a Crown. Just check out some of those content creators and just get as many ideas as you can. It's just like I said, you're bound to see something that you own, and all of a sudden, a whole idea can spring from that. Please subscribe to my channel. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. Give me a like, and give me a comment. I love to hear from all my viewers. And also remember that I myself love to laugh. I love to have a good time, and I love to decorate. I hope you're having a great season so far.